In the quiet town of Amityville, New York, where tree-lined streets curve gently toward the water and neighbors once waved without fear, there stands a house that forever changed the meaning of home in the American imagination. It is not the largest house on the street, nor the oldest, nor the most architecturally impressive. Yet its name alone is enough to summon unease. The Amityville Horror House is not remembered for what it was meant to be, but for what it became. The goal of this story is not merely to recount a haunting. It is to uncover how a single suburban house transformed into a national symbol of fear, controversy, and obsession. This narrative explores the intersection of real violence, psychological trauma, belief, and media amplification, asking whether horror is born from the supernatural or constructed by human hands. The setting is mid-1970s America, a time when suburban life represented safety, progress, and stability. Families fled crowded cities in search of calm neighborhoods and better futures. Amityville embodied that dream. Boats rocked gently on canals behind well-kept homes. Children rode bicycles freely. At night, the town fell into a peaceful silence broken only by water against docks and distant traffic. The house itself blended seamlessly into this environment. A Dutch colonial structure with white siding, dark shutters, and symmetrical windows that faced the street like watchful eyes. It sat proudly along the water, offering space, comfort, and the promise of prosperity. On the surface, it was everything a family could want. But this story begins by acknowledging a truth that would later haunt millions. Evil does not always announce itself. Sometimes, it moves quietly into familiar places and waits. The central character of this narrative is not a ghost, a demon, or even a single human being. It is the house itself, an object that absorbed tragedy, reflected fear, and became a mirror for society's darkest fascinations. Around it orbited families, investigators, skeptics, believers, journalists, and audiences, each projecting their own fears and desires onto its walls. The main conflict that defines this story is deceptively simple, yet endlessly disturbing. Was the horror real? On one side stands the claim of paranormal terror, voices, visions, unseen forces driving a family from their home. On the other stands reason, skepticism, and the argument that trauma, suggestion, and profit turned a crime scene into a myth. Between these two poles lies a gray area where memory, belief, and fear intertwine. This introduction sets the stage for a deeper descent. Because before the stories of hauntings, before the books and movies, before the debates and disbelief, there was a moment when the house was simply a house, and then, in a single night, it was something else entirely. The darkness did not begin with whispers in the walls. It began with violence. And once that door was opened, it would never fully close again.